Call for all, YAHAWAH BAHASHM YAHAWASHI Rakakadash. All praises to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahawashi, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM. Basically, that's what we say because we want to give honor and respect to the Most High. Shalom. This is your brother Obadiayahing, and got a lesson coming today. Most High, through the Ruach HaKodesh, put it on my spirit to do this lesson. I was also talking with a couple of Hebrew Israelite friends of mine that are in the truth, and in lieu of some of that conversation, there was a lot of different things that were coming out in reference to what's out here in terms of the way truth is being disseminated. Now, clearly, everything that is going on is controlled by the Most High, all sides. We have to continue to remember that. A lot of times people get a little twisted and they believe that, things are going on and things are happening that are outside of what Yahweh, who they ignorantly call God, is handling. And that would be untrue, because the Most High covers the beginning and the end of everything through His Son Yahawashi. And of course, the Ruach HaKodesh, which is how they operate within the confines of the spirit world that addresses the flesh and the spirit, and of course everything in between. There's a lot of different types of controversies that are coming down in the Hebrew Israelite community, not only amongst the camps, but also amongst individuals who are interested in the camps and those that are out there who are clearly agents of Esau Edom, and trying to find a way to twist out the prophetic process that's going to happen in terms of, the destruction of this wicked Babylonian system that's here in this country and around the entire earthly plane. Yahweh's prophecies will not come back void. He will act out on everything that He has Shalom, excuse me, came up, brought to fruition. His word will not come back void. I'm gonna get my tea. Excuse me. Oh, that's good. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. So anyway, all right, back what I was saying. So you got a lot of these, what I would call, it's kind of hard to put it in exact words, but I'll try to do the best that I can. I call it spiritual insanity. Let's call it narcissistic spiritual insanity, because this is what you have. Now, a narcissism, as you know, if you don't know the definition of that. Now, look, you need to look some of this stuff. I mean, the apostles tell you all the time, and let me not go past that. I definitely want to give respect and my most admiration and everything I can say in reference to the apostles who have been out there. And I'm specifically talking about a great millstone, because GMS has been a forefront runner of all of the truth that is being revealed. Now, I love when they say they have 100% of the truth. Now, let me tell you why that's very valid and very important, because all of the truth that is being revealed by Yahweh at this point in time, all of the truth that has been revealed and is being revealed, they have all of that part of the truth. So if they have all of the truth that is being revealed in its fashion that it should be revealed, and this is in light of all of the distortions and the twistology that all of these devils that Esau Edom has gotten into since the beginning, because we got to understand, Esau Edom has lied to us about absolutely everything. And when I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. That's why you really have to do your homework, and you have to be in the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Soul, who they call the Holy Spirit, has to be in you. It has to be part of you. If you're not, if it doesn't dwell in you, then I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be able to disseminate any of this prophetic truth that is being brought down. You won't be able to even understand it. You know, I was listening to GMS Elder Manak Zakbar, and Manak Zakbar was going through information in reference to regeneration and reincarnation, and he did an absolutely excellent job. I call him myself, my own, I call him the reprover of GMS. He's a very good reprover. And when you reprove someone, now you need to look these words up if you don't know what they mean. Reproofing someone is getting someone information that allows them to get back on track if possible. It's not always going to be possible for individuals who just don't get this or don't have the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit within them, so they can't get back on track. So they get reproved because their reprobate mind has been put in that capacity by Yahweh, and if they are supposed to come out, and we don't know, but if they are, the Most High YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI has always designated that to be the case. And so I call Manak Zakbar the reprover because he does a very good job of reproving people, and that's a good thing. So Elder Manak Zakbar, all praises to the Most High YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Good job in reproving. Don't worry about people talking about, how you come down on them, because, Jakes be wicked, and there's a lot of wicked Israelites and Hebrew Israelites, and there's always been a lot of them since the past. So don't get that. Don't be mad about that. And I'm going to touch a few other things about some of the stuff that I hear and I listen to from time to time. But let me give you the title of this today. The title is Obadiayahing, We Teach to Reach the Elect. Obadiayahing, we teach to reach the elect. And this has a very manifold presentation today, which I'm going to attempt through the Ruach HaKodesh and Holy Spirit to attempt, and without the Spirit and what's going on in prophecy and the Spirit of the Most High. And Yahushua is the Spirit of prophecy. We can't accomplish these things, and without Him, it's no effort. Only with Him, it's no effort at all, and with Him, it's an enormous effort. And so we're going to address some of those things now. And addressing things sometimes can be a little scathing, but no one on this earthly plane that's under the jurisdiction of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is above the law of Yahweh. Let me say it again. No one's above the law of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And that includes preachers, teachers, apostles, elders, everyone. No one's above the Most High's law. So you can be reproved, whoever you are. Doesn't matter what your title is or how long you've been in the truth. You can be reproved. Me, you, and everyone in between. And the Most High proves it throughout His entire volume of the book. He does that. So don't get it twisted. Anyone can be reproved. And on that note, I wanted to say something. The apostles of GMS, Apostle R, Apostle Gavar, Apostle Rambam, they're doing a great job, and they're bringing stuff out, and they've been very diligent in terms of what they've brought forth. And it's set the foundation. See, in anything, if there's a house to be built, there has to be foundations that are made, and the foundation has to be on a perked land. If anyone knows anything about building houses or construction, they'll know what I'm talking about. Before you can build something, the land has to perk. Now, what does that mean? Perk, like, okay, percolating, like coffee percolating, but not necessarily that. But let me explain. When the land is perked, that means it is prepped to the point where it's stable enough to be able to build on that land. And then when you build on that land, your foundation will not crack, it will not falter, it will not shift, because the land has perked in that area and it allows the home to be stable. So the apostles of Great Millstone, in specific, the ones I mentioned, Tahar, Gabar, Ramalam, and there's others, of course, that's been around before that time. They put out the ability to have the land. The land was being perked by YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and they were the I would say the builders, or the ones who were in process of siting where the land is perked. Now, if the land is perked, then the foundation for the truth can be laid, and then in turn that truth can be raised, and then here we go. into the way that we're supposed to in terms of learning and to receiving the Ruach HaKodesh and to be able to give back to the elect, specifically this information that will bring them out of Babylon. So they've done a very good job of being the builders in that capacity and building the foundation that Yahawashi laid for them in order to allow the rest of the teachers and elders and Akim who are on the highways and byways as well as online and on the unicorn of information and getting it out to people in terms of what needs to be done. And that's a plus. But see, they've been catching some heat lately. And I know that, the Apostle Dahar and Apostle Gabar, it seems like if you do not understand, and it really comes down to a misunderstanding of who these men are of the Lord, who these men of the Lord are. And they believe strongly and know by faith that you have to follow what the Most High says in reference to his prophetic process. And they're going through that. And they're austere men because that's who the Most High is. He has austere men. We who come out and do this, you can't be not an austere man. If you are not an austere man, this ain't for you, and you can't do this, okay? So you can't take this offensively. And a lot of times I know that I see some of the comments and stuff that they come at Apostle Har and Apostle Gabar when they talk in reference to women. Now, our women have been out of line for a very long time. And it's our wickedness that we are dealing with that is keeping us in sin, along with the fact that the curses are still out there that you can get into it. I always had to use an analogy when I talk to my daughters about this situation, and I say, if there's sin, let's say that sin is a big old puddle of oil, and you slip and fall in it, or you get down and get in it, well, you got it all over you. Well, let me tell you something. Oil is very difficult to get off of you, and once you get that sin on you, it has to come off. And a lot of times, sometimes the Most High has got to scrub you and get that off. It reminds me of I believe it was in Ezekiel chapter 60. I don't roughly paraphrase. Don't quote me on this yet, but it talked about how Yahweh has to turn the bowl upside down and scrub it in order to get the sin and the wickedness out. Speaking in reference to the earth, roughly paraphrase. But what I'm saying here is that they try to give the apostles a bad rep because they come down on women the way that they do. Well, I'm not going to say that that's not the case because they are not coming down. They don't hate women. They're not MGTOW morons, the MGTOWs. Elder Malcolm had talked about MGTOW and what they're into, and he did a lesson on that. Go look it up. It was a good lesson. I listened to it. The apostles of Great Millstone are not women haters. They don't hate women. Let me make sure you understand this. They don't have animosity against women. They don't hate women. What they hate is the fact that our women are so easily subverted and subjected to sin. And from the beginning, a lot of this happened because, in the garden, when the Most High put Adam in charge, he told Adam what he was supposed to do. Now, Adam's supposed to do his job. All right? Now, they both fell. Yes, that's true. But here's the thing. When Adam was formed, I'm not talking about all the rest of the nations that were there. I'm talking just about Adam. Okay, there was other people, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when Adam was formed and he was given specific job and duties as a chosen elect. So that would be from the Adamite side of the house. We are from the seed line of the ancestral capacity of Adam through that past point. Okay, and moving forward. He was given instruction, he was given work, and he was given a job, and his job was specific, and the Most High was making sure that work was done. And then the prophets that were there at the time were making sure that he was supposed to do his job. And of course, they communicated with him as well, because that's how the Most High communicated with Adam. So now, not to belabor the point, but what I'm saying is, and then once the Most High created a specific helpmate for Adam, which would be Eve, he did speak to both of them about not getting involved with the other entities in the garden, in the midst of the garden specifically, that have a specific doctrine and a belief system that they were operating under at that time that would bring them into subjection and sin and against the Most High and his commandments, because the commandments were very present at the time as well. anytime the Most High gives you any kind of ruling, any kind of suggestion, it is a command, and that command is very important. And so you have to look at that as a law. The whole book is a law. Let's not get that twisted. So what happened? So Most High got information through the prophets to Adam. Adam understood that when he was by himself at first. Then when he had a helpmate created for him, a helpmate for him, helper, right, with him, all right, his possession, he chose to take her. He was presented with her. He could say no. He didn't say no. He took her. He said, boom, okay, bam, he took her. All right, and that was his. She was told also the same thing Adam was told again. So it was reiterated twice, at least by the Most High, saying, don't screw around with those in the midst of the garden, because if you do that, you're going to be jacked up and you're going to be in sin and you're going to die. Well, okay, so what happened? So the woman says, okay, I want to have the same amount of power and knowledge as my husband, Adam. I want to be equal with him. Now, here's the thing. That's not how the Most High created things. That's why, I was listening to a lesson with this guy, Kevin Samuels, and he talked about high-value men. Well, the only high-value men are Hebrew Israelite men, because they are the chosen men of the Most High, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. There are no other high-value men out there other than those men. And those men who are elect are the specific ones that are the high-value men. There are Hebrew Israelite men out there that are not high-value men, and they're not the chosen in terms of the election that the Most High has made from the beginning. Okay, Romans chapter 8, Romans chapter 9, it talks in 8 about the fact that, he predestined individuals. Go to verse 28, 29, that specifically tells you that. These are the elect, he's talking about, the elect of Israel. So now, knowing that there are high-value men, and they have specific duties, this is the course upon which the Most High was bringing forth his method of salvation from the beginning to the end here. Now, once the woman saw that her husband was a high-value man, because he speaks directly to the Most High, you got to be high-value if you're talking to the Most High and you're getting direct lessons and direct information from the Most High. That specifically speaks to being a high-valued Israelite man, Hebrew Israelite man, okay? Or let's just say at that time, he was a Adamite man, but a high-value Adamite man, and the seed line passes through the father and through the male. So there you go. Let's do that. Okay, so now the woman says, okay, I want the knowledge. I want to be strong. I want to be smart. I want to be important. So she listens to those that are looking at Adam and his performance and his grace and his position, and so she goes and talks to one in the garden, of course, that was portrayed as a serpent or whoever. Now, there was no Edomites during this time in the garden, okay? Let's not get that twisted. So who she was listening to, obviously the Canaanite group of individual, or whoever the head of the Canaanite subversion period or time was, and that individual himself spoke to her and told her that, hey, the Most High put you, helpmate with your husband Adam, right? Well, you could be high value, and you could be just as smart and intelligent and have just as much importance as he is. So strive for that purpose. Here, let me show you how that can be done. Now, once you introduce this particular doctrine to the woman's mind, you can see that the pattern of this process has been portrayed in many different capacities that have moved forward through time and centuries and decades and eons. And then up to this point, you can see now that what do women strive for mostly, if anything else? They want to crack that ceiling, so to speak. Even the Edomites have a glass ceiling, and then of course the Edomite woman and everyone else wants to break that ceiling and get to the top of perfection in terms of economy, sociological, everything you can imagine in reference to trying to raise yourself to a level of intelligence and power. So she wants equal power. Now, the Most High hasn't set it up that way. So if it's not set up that way, you can't breach across something that it's not. So when the apostles start teaching about the fact that you're out of order and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, they're not teaching it as opposed to saying that they don't like, care, or love women. That's not true. They're trying to keep you in order in reference to what the scriptures say, what the Bible says, what the word, the true word that has been filtered through the lies and deception that Esau Edom has performed in our book. I will always say over and over again, I don't see any reason why they should even be talking to these no-class Malones or, Edomite white or any of them. There's no need to do it, because all you have to do basically is say in the beginning to stop the nonsense. And of course I understand why they do it, but I'm saying if you really don't want to get into these useless debates with them over something that doesn't belong to them, say that. Say from the beginning. What is it that you Edomites and Esau Edom believed in before you got a hold of our belief system in our book? What did you believe in? What was it? It wasn't this, because you didn't have this from the beginning. So whatever you had, go back to that. Go back to what you believed in when you were in the caves or wherever you were or whatever you've done. Go back to that belief. Leave our stuff alone. Stop lying about everything, but you're not. But get away from our holy scriptures. It doesn't belong to you. You're not included in it, and you can't keep putting yourself in it. If you just tell them to go back to whatever they believed before they had our book, that shuts them up right there, because if they did their research, they'll go back and see that they didn't have what we have. And then that ends that. But anyway, not to digress. The apostles of great millstone don't hate women. Now, because the women that are part of the chosen individuals that will perform processes of bringing forth the birth of the elect, that is important. They are elect vessels. That's true. They are vessels that are part of the election, because they have been elected to bring forth what? Prophets, kings. They're bringing forth the judges. They're bringing forth the disciples. Hey, Mary, she was of the elect, and she birthed Yahawashi. Joseph, obviously the father, who is the elect, high value man, but at the same time, Mary was of the election in the process that she was the vessel that brought the Yahawashi into this particular earthly plane during the time period that he walked and did his ministry. Okay, so it is important that we address the fact that the reach. That's why the lesson is we teach to reach the elect. So who are we trying to reach? We're also trying to reach the elect woman who is in the process of working with the high value elect Israelite men at this time that are bringing the truth to the world. That's why the lesson is called We Teach to Reach the Elect. Okay, so let's make sure we understand that, because a woman, and we're going to get into scripture, a woman can teach, elder women, and I'm going to give you the scripture, elder women can teach younger women and children. They're not teaching men. You're not supposed to teach the men, but they can aid in the process of the family in order to do that, because you never know. She may be birthing another prophet through that elect high value man. She may be birthing a high value elect man who in the spirit is coming through her womb in order to perform what's necessary for the Most High to have performed. Now let's get into scripture, because it's important to, if we're going to address this, we might as well go ahead and address it right. So let me go off. I want to start reading from my notes first. Now the first thing I wrote down here, for us, is 1 Timothy. So I'm sorry it took a little long in that dialogue, but I had to get that out. The Most High in Rock said I should. 1 Timothy chapter 3, and we're going 1 through 13. Now there's two different types of translations depending on what book of Bible you have. Also, I wanted to tell you a little bit about this Bible. This is a Bible I recently purchased. I think that you all should look to try to get this Bible. And let me tell you why. Because this is a Bible that shows us. Okay? This is the Bible that shows us. Okay? I'm talking about really shows us. See, look at that. See that? See that? Look at that. Ain't that cool? This is what our Bible looked like, I'm sure, before the Edomites got a hold of it, them damn devils. And messed everything up. You see what I'm saying? Look. Here's a picture of, who's that? Deborah, Joshua. You see that? Show you a couple more. Then I got to get right into these scriptures, right? I got to get into it, right? Look at this. Samson David and Goliath. Okay, look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, where's this one? This one was what? Israel divided. See that? Look. See that? It's showing the division. This is a good book. You want to get this one. It's by My Bible Culture. Get that to you. See if you can see that. Get out of the light a little bit. Trying to get that in the camera so you get a picture of it. If you can see it. MyBibleCulture.com, right? You can get there. info@mybibleculture.com. The division of Seventh Trumpet Media. I don't know who they are, but anyway, get that book. All right, back. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 through 13, it says, "The saying is trustworthy. If anyone aspires to the office of overseer, he desires a noble task. Therefore, an overseer must be above reproach." Okay? The husband of one wife in Esau Edom's kingdom right now, of course the law speaks other, of one wife, sober-minded, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach, not a drunkard, able to teach, not a drunkard, gotta reach, not violent but gentle, not quarrelsome, not a lover of money. He must manage his own household well, with all dignity, keeping his children submissive. For if someone does not know how to manage his own household, Shalaki, how will he care for Yahawah's chosen? That's very important. That's what we talked about in the beginning, right? Okay. Now, even in the I'm going to the King James. It says here. I'm going to read a similar thing. It says, "This is a true saying. If a man desires the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work," right? A good work. Then the bishop must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, adapt to teach, not given to wine, no striker, not greedy or filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well in his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yahawah, or the people of Yahawah, right? That's who the church is. Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into condemnation of the devil, which is what we see happening to a lot of all these wicked ass religious practitioner pastors. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach and snare of the devil, which is what happens to these pastors, and a lot of wicked jakes too. Likewise must the deacon be grave, not double-tongued, not given to much wine, not greedy of filthy lucre, holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience, and let these also first be proved. Then let them use the office of a deacon, being found blameless. Even so much their wives be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. And let the deacons be the husbands of one wife. See, the deacons too, ruling over their children in their own house as well. For they that have used the office of a deacon well, purchase to themselves a good degree and a great boldness in the faith which is in Yahawashi HaMashiach. Okay, so that tells you right there what is important in reference to making sure that we teach to reach the elect. That's a good foundation to start from 1 Timothy. I know there's multiple scriptures that speak to this in reference to, preaching and teaching and being instant in time, roughly paraphrased, in terms of getting the word out. And that's important. And I know that the Yakim will share that with you on the comments. Okay, the second precept we're going to is, we're going to 1 Peter. That's going to be 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. So let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. And that's where we're going next. Peter 2:9. Okay, where are we at now? There we go. 1 Peter 2:9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but are now a people of Yahawah, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Okay? So I wanted to get that one out. And that's important because, see, being a chosen people, a holy people, that means you're set apart. You're supposed to be set apart. And we were until we fell because of what we did and what we didn't do, and then, of course, what our helpmate did as well. And so this is why a lot of times, we have to lean not on our own understanding, but on the understanding of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And that's roughly paraphrase, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, now the next precept we're going to is we're going to Ephesians chapter 5, I believe. Yeah, Ephesians 5 is next. Let me get my Bible over here. See, I got my notes, and then I want to make sure I get to the Ephesians chapter 5. Okay, Ephesians 5, and we're going to read 16 through 20. Ephesians chapter 5, 16 through 20. Okay? All right. Here we go. Now, in fact, let's go up a little further. Let's go start at 14. Shalaki. Ephesians chapter 5, let's start at 14. Okay? All right? And we're going to read 14 through 20. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushua and the Mashiach shall give thee light. So, wake from sleep, arise from the dead. Wake from sleep, arise from the dead has multiple meanings, including spiritually dead, wake your ass up. Okay, get up, get out of this Babylonian belief system, get out of these false doctrines, and get into the truth, and wake up, okay? See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise men, right? Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore ye, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahawah is. And be not drunk with wine, wherein in excess, but be filled with the Spirit. And that's the Ruach HaKodesh. And you can only be filled with the Spirit if you're a Hebrew Israelite. It doesn't work for Edomites. It's not about you. Okay? Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to Yahawah. Giving thanks always for things unto Yahawah and unto power and to the Father in the name of Yahawashi HaMashiach. I went a little further because I really felt like I needed to pull that out too. Okay, we're going to Colossians, and we're going to Colossians chapter 3. So go with me to Colossians chapter 3, and we're going to read 16 through 23. Chapter 3. Okay, Shalaki. Let the word of Hamashiach dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to Yahawah. Now, I want to hit on that a little bit. It says teaching and admonishing richly in all wisdom, right? teaching and admonishing. This is what the apostles and the elders, as well as the Akim who are teaching, are doing. But you need to also not forget about the psalms, the hymns, and spiritual songs. That's praise process. I can't emphasize this enough. I'm going to continue to get on Hebrew Israelites if they don't raise the level of praise. You have to raise your level of praise. This is what they're doing in heaven. And if you plan to get there and you plan to be there, you need to start practicing that now. If you're not practicing the fact that you're not praising at the level that you should to Yahawah, how are you going to act when you get there? I mean, can you imagine him asking you when you get there in the spirit world, what was your problem with praising me? You could praise all these other entities and these individuals that I created on earth as men, but you can't praise the Most High who created everything? That's the songs. That's the spiritual songs. That's the hymns. That's what Psalms means. Come on, man. Come on, you guys. What is your problem? Are you so embarrassed? Are you such austere men that you can't praise the Most High? You're very boring in your all praise to the Most High. I get on y'all so much about this, but y'all just don't get it. Maybe y'all just don't get that part. I don't understand. I really don't. Okay, all right. Let me finish. 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do also in the name of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Hamashiach, giving thanks to power and the Father by him. So you got to do that. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. And if you're not, you're out of line. Okay, now we're going to Luke. Let's go to Luke. We're going to Luke 24:44. Okay? All right. Luke 24. We're going to Luke chapter 24, verse 44. All right? So bear with me till we get there. Okay. All right, we're there. All right, Luke 24:44. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses and the prophets, and in Psalms and concerning me. Okay? So it has to be fulfilled. Everything has to be fulfilled. Then opened he their understanding, and they might, that they may understand the scriptures. Then opened he their understanding. Who's he? Who's the he? Is Yahawashi opened their understanding through the power that Yahawah gave him. So the Hamashiach opened their understanding, and he opened the understanding of the elect, the apostles, as well as the elders and the ones who are teaching, and now you see preaching on highways and byways and online. Their understanding has been opened, and when it became open, they got understanding. And that is the Ruach HaKodesh, which gives wisdom in the Holy Spirit. Okay? So that was Luke 24:44. Now we're going to go to, while we're here in Luke, let's pop back over to Colossians. I want to go to Colossians 1:28. Colossians 1:28. All right, so bear with me. Let's go to Colossians 1:28. Just there, right? Back to Colossians 1:28. We'll get to that other one, the other one I wanted in a minute, once I get back to where I was. Slide. Okay. Because Colossians 1:28 is bringing me. Okay, got it. Colossians 1:28. 24, 28. When we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Hamashiach Yahawashi. Whereunto I also labor, striving according to his working, which worketh in me mightily. I'll read that again. Whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Hamashiach Yahawashi. Whereunto I also labor, striving according to his working, which worketh in me mightily. Okay? So you see, the Mashiach is very important in reference to this process. Now we're going to get into, I want to get into a little bit about the women who have done some things as far as elect is concerned. And we want to see how this election happens with the women as well, because there is an election that's part of women. So let's get into it. We're going to start in Genesis. Might as well start in the beginning, right? All right, Genesis chapter 21, verse 12. Okay, so let's go there, 21:12. I'm running out of time, so I got to get moving here. I'm getting close to my time. 21:12. And it says, and Yahweh said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, in all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall the seed be called. So the Most High is telling him, you know, don't be grievous over the fact that you had to put some seed in a bondwoman, but you're going to put some seed in Sarah because she's going to bring forth Isaac, because the seed will come of salvation through the seed of Isaac, through the seed of Abraham. But of course, Sarah, being the elect chosen for that process of that vessel, she is indeed an important vessel, an important elect vessel of the Most High. That's important. Okay, next we're going to go to Exodus chapter 15 and 20. Exodus chapter 15 and 20. And it says here, and Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took timbrel in her hand, and all the women, a tambourine in her hand, and all the women went out after her with tambourines and with dances. And Miriam answered them, singing ye to the Lord, for he hath trumpeted gloriously, the horse and the rider hath he thrown into the sea. Of course, they were trumpeting the fact that this is what happened to Pharaoh and the crap that's going on with Pharaoh and trying to destroy the Hebrew Israelites. Now, Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a tambourine in her hand, and all the women went out and after her tambourines and with dances. Now, you know, Elder Menachzot talked about IUIC and their wickedness, and I saw that too, and it was very corrupt and wicked. And it reminded me of when Moses came down from the mountain and they were dancing around and acting all wicked, and then all of a sudden, you know, the Most High said, go down there, because they got golden calf crap going on, and they got, you know, dancing, and they just out of line. I'm through with them. So obviously, when Moses came down, he saw the wickedness was going on that was supposed to be amongst Israelites that are supposed to be in the truth, coming out of Egypt, coming out of bondage, being delivered, and they weren't completely delivered yet, but they were out, right? Same kind of stuff with IUIC and what those people were doing and dancing and partying. That reminded me of that. And what did the Most High do? He had them being separated by Levites, separated from them. Come over here, Moses said, roughly paraphrase, come over here. And then he destroyed, had the people destroy them. This is what they're barking up, that tree, and they're going to get it if they don't stop that nonsense. You know, I wanted to speak to that. But, you know, again, Miriam, the prophetess, she was an elect vessel of the Most High that was brought forth to work in this process. She's not teaching any man. She's not in the process of doing that, but she is performing a process that is helping. She's being a helpmate and showing that helpmate process in terms of what she was doing here. Of course, she was doing some other things that were wicked, but but that happens when you get people in the wrong position. Okay, the next place we're going to Judges chapter 4, 3, and 5. Judges chapter 4, 3, and 5. I want to tap on that. Okay, 4, 3, and 5. And the children of Israel cried unto Yahawah, for he hath 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. Right? Again, and the children of Israel cried unto Yahawah, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years have mightily oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lepidor, she judged Israel at that time, because Israel was going off. They were wicked. They were doing stuff they weren't supposed to be doing, and they needed some guidance. And the Most High provided it through Deborah at that time as a judge. And she dwelt under a palm tree of Deborah between Ramoth and Bethel in Mount Ephraim, and the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. See? So they came up to her for judgment. Now, of course, it goes back later, deeper into the story, and it said, and she sent and called Barak and the son of Aramah out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, hath not the Lord Yahawah, power of Israel, commanded, saying, go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take it with the 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun. Now, so she was kind of given some information that was passed along to her from Yahawah. So that means she was elected in that process to provide that information. She's not teaching the man, she's just providing information. So she's a vessel of honor in that sense, in terms of what she has been providing as a judge. Okay. Now the next place we're going to go, the next one is that we're going to go is to Proverbs chapter 31, and we're going to read Proverbs 31. Let's see, this is a pretty good one here. 10 through, I could go to 10 through 31. That's a lot to read, but we're going to do the best we can to get through this. Okay, so bear with me. Shocking. Okay. Proverbs 31, 10 through. See if we can get through that. Okay, all right. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her. Okay? So that he shall have no need of spoil. See that? So she's being a good helpmate. This is a woman who's being a good helpmate. Not wicked, not out here doing stuff she ain't supposed to do. Being a good helpmate, okay? She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ship that bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion of her maidens. She considereth the field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengthen her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand in the poor, and she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. See, that's royalty. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. See, more royalty. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. See, she has a high-value man who's there, who's guarding the gates, and she knows him because when he sits at the gates and he guards those gates, she's important as a helpmate to make sure things are working well in the home. Not out doing wicked stuff. Not dancing and frolicking around and acting like some crazy harlot. She maketh the linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. See, strength and honor, that shows an election of her, okay? All right? She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. That's, she's studying the word. She looketh well to the ways of her household, that eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellence them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth Yahawah power, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. So this is a woman of election in terms of being a vessel that will be a helpmate, that will perform in the duties that is necessary for a high-value man of Israelite lineage to move forward in life and do the work of the Most High. Okay, the next place we're going to go to Romans 16. Okay, Romans chapter 16. I know we're getting late. We're getting deep into some time here, but we're going to do this. I mean, if you can't hang, if this is something you want entertainment, go somewhere, go to another channel. Don't go here, because we're going to teach and we're going to get this in, because this is important. And we're not interested in just trying to entertain you. We're interested in showing you what's right and what you're supposed to be looking towards. Okay, Romans chapter 16, verse 1, and it reads, all right, I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, which is a servant of the people, that's at the church, which is at Caesarea, that ye receive her in Yahawah the Lord, as becometh saints, and that ye assist her in whatsoever business she hath need of you, for she hath been a securer of many, a securer of many, and of myself also. See, Paul is telling you that. Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers in Yahawashi HaMashiach, who have for my life laid down their own necks, unto whom not only I give thanks, but also the church, the people of the Gentiles, speaking about the ones that are scattered abroad. Okay. Likewise, greet the people, or the church, that is in their houses. Salute my well-beloved Expectius, who is the first fruits of Achilla unto Hamashiach. So I just wanted to get that in. So you can see Priscilla and Aquila, as well as Phoebe, they were vessels of the elect that were used by the Most High and through the ministry with Paul. So these are righteous women that are doing what they're supposed to be doing for the Most High. Okay, I want to read, so I did read 7, okay, because I saluted Atriosis and Ania, my kinsmen and my fellow prisoners who are of note among the apostles. So that was 7 of Romans 16:7, because so you can see there's women in the ministry that are doing things. Now we know that in the religious practitioner environment, you have a lot of women that are all in these churches all over the place. The women have always been extremely spiritual when it comes to the household, more so than the men, in terms of the presentation of worship and praise. But at the same time, they're easily dissuaded by smooth-talking, tricky Edomites and other wicked jakes that do these things in the church, like these snakes and dollar and the rest of it. So you got to watch out for that. That's why it takes a high-value Israelite man to be in charge of the home, to lead the family in the right direction, and the woman is a helpmate in that process. She is of the elect too, as well. but she is of the elect from the vessel side, which is important. Okay, next we're going to go to Acts chapter 9. All right, we're getting really into this here, man. Acts 9. Let's see here. We're going to go to Acts chapter 9 first. And then we'll do Acts 20 and 21. So let me Acts 9. Okay, we're going Acts 9:36, right? Okay, shot. Now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds which she did. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid her in an upper chamber. And forasmuch as Lydia was near to Joppa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them. Then Peter arose and went with them when was to come, and they brought him into the upper chamber, and all the widows stood by him weeping, and showing the coats and garments which Dorcas made while she was with them. See, she was there and she was dead, right? But Peter put them all forth, kneeled down and prayed, and turning him to the body said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up. And he gave her his hand and lifted her up. And when he had called the saints and widows, presented her alive. And it was known throughout Joppa, and many believed in Yahawah. And it came to pass that he tarried many days in Joppa with one Simon, a tanner. So you can see right here, the Most High gave the power through the Mashiach for Peter and the Ruach HaKodesh to bring Tabitha, who's named Dorcas, back to life. So she was of the elect. She was raised from the dead. That shows you a form of election on the female side of the house, a vessel of honor. Okay? Now we're going to go to Acts chapter 21:9. Okay? 21 and verse 9. And it says here, I'll start at 8. And the next day we that were of Paul's company departed and came into Caesarea, and we entered into the house of Philip, the evangelist, which was one of the 7, and abode with him. And the same man had 5 daughters, virgins, which did prophesy. See? More elect women. So sometimes, you know, if you're trying to reach someone, and you, let's just say that the household, that man in that household, that Israelite man, if he is an Israelite man, he may not be of the elect. But the woman might be an elect vessel who may have children from the seed of the Israelite man, and through her being an elect vessel, she has an election born. Could have been a prophet born, could have been a disciple born, but an elect seed from that elect man. So an elect seed can come through an elect vessel from a seed of a man who may not necessarily have been of the elect at that time. See what I'm saying? Okay. All right, next we're going to go to Philippians. No, we're going. We did Acts 21:9. Okay. Yeah. We're going to go to Philippians 4:3. Philippians 4:3 and 5. All right. Philippians chapter 4, verse 3 and 5. And I entreated thee also, I entreated thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers, whose names are in the book of life. Rejoice in Yahawah the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Let your moderation be known unto men. The Lord Yahawah is at hand. So you can see in the work, he's admonishing the women to treat them through Clement here, and also the other, my fellow laborers, whose names are in the book of life. So their book of life means they were election. They were part of the elect, but not in the form of the men's deal, but also only in the form of what the women are to do that job. Okay, we're getting ready to close this out. We're going to do, we're going to go to Luke chapter 2. Okay, Luke 2. Luke chapter 2, 36 and 37. And we're getting ready to close this out because we're inside of an hour now, and I got to get this, got to finish this up. Okay, Luke chapter 2, 36 and 37. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phinel, of the tribe of Asher. And she was of great age, and had lived with an husband 7 years from her virginity. And she was a widow of about 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served Yahawah power with fasting and prayers night and day. And she coming in that instant gave thanks likewise unto the Lord, and spoke of him to all them that looked for redemption in Jerusalem. So as you can see, more vessels of election when it comes to the women, that they're doing the work. They're not teaching the men, but they're assisting in the process of the work, and they are providing that level. Okay? All right, next we're going to go to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1 through 7. 1 Peter, so go with me there. You get there. 1 Peter chapter 3, 1 through 7. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, that they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adoring let it not be that outward adoring of planting the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in which it is not corruptible, even the ornament of the meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahawah of great price. Shalaki. For after this manner is the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in Yahawah, adorn themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. And likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. See, so your prayers won't be hindered if you understand that your helpmate can very well be of the election with the Most High, and your prayers will be answered if you honor and treat that woman the way you're supposed to in reference to the scriptures and what the Most High says about his vessels of election. That's important. Okay. Next, we're going to finish up here with Acts chapter 2 and 17 to 18, and then we will we'll call it a day. We'll call it a day for this lesson at chapter 2, and we're going to 17 and 18, right? Okay. Acts chapter 2, 17 and 18. So go with me there, and then we can finish this out. 2:17 and 18. Okay, here we are. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahawah Power, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in these days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. All right? And because I wanted to make sure that I got that in, because that's very, very important. Let's see. I wanted to get one. I think I might want to pull one more. I wanted to pull one more precept. Let me see if I can find it. It might have been what I wanted. I know there was a precept that talked about the women, the older women can teach the younger women. I'm trying to remember where that was. I thought I had it. Shocking if I don't find it. We'll go in here and look. I know that talk to judges. I know that that was in Genesis. It was there. I thought I wrote it down. Yeah, I got it. Titus 2. Yeah, we can't leave without getting that one in, right? See, I know I get it. I just got to thank the Royal Call Bishop and the Holy Spirit, because it'll bring it. Just be patient. It'll bring it. So we're going to Titus chapter 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll finish out with that one, okay? Let me get to Titus here. Because I know we're well over the time now. You know how Jake is on trying to hang in there. Jakes and Jakeettes, they don't want to hang around that long, you know what I'm saying? All right, there we go. Titus chapter 2, 3, and 4. Okay. All right, here we go. You want to get that in. Titus chapter 2, verse 3 and 4. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. See that? That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be decent, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahawah Power be not blasphemed. And on that note, that finishes out this portion in this lesson. We just thank the Most High, Yahawah Bahashaim Yahawashi, that everything came together with this. I know it's a little long, but it was worth it in terms of getting the message out. Again, Obadiayahing, we teach to reach the elect. And when you teach, you want to reach the elect, whether the elect are the vessels of females that are bringing forth more children that inevitably could be a prophet in that brood that is born, or it could be a prophetess in that brood that is born, or it could be an elder or a disciple or who it may be. But we teach to reach the elect, and that's the name of the lesson. I hope everything went well and that you enjoyed the lesson and that you follow through the scriptures. And I want to say shalom until next time.